Hi everybody, this is SkaterCake bringing you a review of the new Super Whatever album, Never Nothing. Before we get into the video, I'd like to say that I've decided to go back in album reviews before I go forward. i.e. I'm reviewing albums that I've already purchased and new releases this year before I buy any new ones and release them in the progression of the year to come. I've got about 3 albums up there at the minute that I'm going to review within some time frame. I don't know. I'm really swamped at the minute with the exams in school, so I'm trying to make videos when I can. So sorry if it's not like a lot of the time like it should be. So anyway, let's just get into the review.
Hey, I don't wanna be the only one who stays awake at night.
Super Whatever, or a Cali quartet comprised of Skylar McKee on vocals and guitar, Josh Gomez on drums, Josiah, I hope I said that name right, Josiah Beeson on bass, and second guitarist Nick Mikander. I've just got to write that down because I probably wouldn't remember the names off by heart because I'm rubbish with names. So yeah, Super Whatever started making music around 2016. Their first EP, the Good Luck EP, was released in the same year. And this is their first full-length debut album, released January 19th this year. This is the first in my series of reviews to come, so yeah, there we go. I'm doing these in date order, by the way, which is why I said this is the first, so yeah, you sort of understand the logic. So let's get into a few track-by-track reviews. The first opening track, sort of an instrumental intro track, A-U-O. I don't know how else to say it. It's a very chilled out song, sort of really introduces the album, brings it up. It's very built throughout the progression of the song. Only using 2 chords though, and sort of really high, heady vocals. A very heady track in general. It's sort of tinged with sadness though in a way, and I don't know why, it just gives me that vibe. Overall, great start to the album, bringing us into the second track, Bloomfield. I think this was the lead single, I'm pretty sure, from the album. The track is very, very catchy. There's the first taste of the musical style throughout this album. There's very rhythmic bass, the drums are very complex. It's quite a headbanger. The vocals on this track, and as throughout the whole record, I will mention that Skylar's vocals are a bit hit and miss. They're quite whiny, sort of like of the genre of punk, emo style. You either love them or you hate them. There's some places where they're really good, there's some places where they're a bit meh. In the second chorus, sort of shows off Skylar's vocal range because he has like very lows and then very like strained higher vocals in the main chorus and the other verses. Well constructed bridge. The instrumental breakdown and the outro of the album is very long, and it shows great musicianship, which throughout the whole album is very tight, and I probably will mention that again later, forgetting that I've mentioned it now. The third track, Catherine with a K, is a very ballad-style track, and the lyrical content is very good. There's a beautiful bridge. There always seems to be beautiful bridges throughout a lot of this album. There's a lot of complex timing. The really heavy part hits hard in the final bits of the song. I'm pretty sure the track is in drop D because you've always got the journeying D string in the background. Well, tuned down bottom E string in the background. This is how I play it at least. It's not a great style. This is played by ear basically, so I can't find any tabs of it anyway. Overall, really great song, and as I've just demonstrated, I like to play along to it. Why do I wonder why uses, I think, one of the most overused beats in modern pop music, the boom, 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 sort of like brought into popularity by songs like Despacito of all things. Quite an upbeat song. The main highlight of the album, for me at least, is For You. I think another single from the album. I don't know why, but the very first few seconds of this song remind me of the intro, or the very first few seconds as well, of the song Milk by Kings of Leon. I'll give you a track comparison. It's probably the fastest track on the album. There's a lot of switching around timing on drums. Another catchy chorus. and another very beautiful instrumental part. Cops on Motorcycles, the sixth, I think, track on this record. If this band was bigger, I think this would be like the unsung song, like underrated, because I sort of didn't like it at first, but then when listening to the album again and again, it sort of became more popular, and I like the lyrical style of it. I don't know why it reminds me of Panic at the Disco. I don't listen to Panic at the Disco, so sorry if I offended anyone, but it's the sort of style that it gives. I don't know. Advice kicks off the second half of the record. It's a very short track. Nothing much to say about it, it's just there. Not that there's a problem with that. Misquote, what stands out to me the most about it is the pounding drums throughout the song that sort of drive it as a very driven track. I don't know what I'm gonna say about it. Track 9 is another of my favourite. It's very trippy. It sort of just works as a style. I really do love the chorus, and I think it's about being with someone who's out of your league, or having different plans to the one, your partner, or whoever you're in a relationship with. Judging by the lyrics of, oh my god, you got it all figured out, and going a speed that's different. So yeah, it's probably easier to decipher than most of the lyrics. I will mention at this point that the lyrical content is still enjoyable, but it's a bit vague throughout most of the record. Another catchy song with Television. That is a mouthful and a half. The track gets very to the point of lyrical themes with the first lyric of the song. I think its theme really is about, you know, finding hope in someone and wanting to look out for the person that you love. Judging by lyrics such as, you know, you want to go to school but you go do drugs instead, it sounds sort of very concerned. And, you know, girl, when you look at me, you make me want to believe. That's the sort of hope vibe that's given to it. So the penultimate track, 8:51 Saturday Morning Congestion Blues. I'm pretty sure it's Saturday morning, please tell me it is. Yes, Saturday Morning Congestion Blues. The penultimate track has a great balance of lyrical and instrumental parts. The lyrical part in the first half of the song and the instrumental part in the second, very well put together. And then the final track maybe didn't speak to me as much as the rest of the record, but I still appreciate it as a track and a closer, and the instrumental parts are very heavy. It's like a massive chorus and the final verse as a closing point. Leaves it on quite a high note. Overall, as I said before, the album has very tight musicianship. The bass is very filling out and creative. The drums are the same, very groovy and funky. And the vocals, as I've said already as well, they are hit and miss in places. The band did credit their own weird and, like, you know, not really consistent style in the linear notes of the album, and I agree. You never really know what to expect if you're listening to this album the first time from track to track, because, like, the tracks are very different and very defined for each other, which helps make the album good, because when you can pick out different songs instead of it all blending into one, that's when you know there's a quality album being made, and there's good musicianship, and not just trying to write the same song, same chord progressions, same lyrical style. The album title on the album cover is in Braille. In the notes section, there's this Braille printed too, which quotes, I think, from the Bible or something. I don't want to get religious. It quotes deep calls unto deep. When I looked that up, it said something about, like, page references in the Bible or something. They thank God in the thank you section of the lyric booklet. So overall, I'd say this album is about a 7, because I do come back to it a lot. I maybe forget about it sometimes, but when I come back to it, I do appreciate the musicianship, because it's very good. And for the debut album of a band, it's like experimental, but at the same time it just works together, and I really do look forward to their next album and just any new material from them in general. I would definitely recommend checking them out. As I said, you can love them or hate them with the vocals and the style, but definitely don't take away from the musicianship. It is very creative and enjoyable. So yeah, there you go. That rounds off this review. I will be doing more reviews, hopefully sometime soon. I've got exams and stuff out of the way, and I've got some actual money, because I bought a new skateboard setup after, like, ages. I didn't do a video about that for whatever reason. probably no point now. But yeah, there's actually sun in the UK at the minute, so I'm enjoying that as well. I'm just droning on now, won't I? I will get down to reviews when I get more free time, and yeah, there you go. Just look forward to it, guys. I've got some good albums coming up as well. So I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.